this cell is cell B2. So when we look at this place, we will see B2. We can also change the name. For example, if we can rename, let's choose this cell B2. However, the name should not be the same as an already existing name. So here, if we want to name cell B2 as, let's say, name 1, we just click on enter and the name has changed, and we can call it by typing equal to. So once we start typing, Excel recognizes that we are looking for name A1, so we press the tab key and it will refer us to where the name is. The whole file here is a workbook, and within each workbook there are sheets that we can, so here these are the sheets. So it's like having a book and you are having a sheet. We can add a sheet if we want to. So once we click on the plus sign, it will add a fifth sheet. When we click it again, it will create. We can rename the sheet by clicking on the sheet and double click on it, and the name will be highlighted and you start typing whatever name that you want to give. So my sheet, can give it any name. And here is the zoom bar. You can zoom in and zoom out. So basically today we are going to start with some simple Excel functions. Let's begin with some of the mathematical symbols. If we want to add two figures in Excel, anytime that we are entering a function, we begin with equal to. For example, if we want to add two numbers, we begin with equal to, let's say 3 plus 5, and gives us the answer. So this is the addition sign. And we can go with the multiplication sign. 4 times is the asterisk, the star, times, let's say, 5. Same as subtraction. For subtraction, equal to 5 less 8. So we have -3. Let's try for the division. Equals to, let's say, 4 less 6. And let's 4 less 9. Yes. And this is the percentage sign. So if we want to enter 5%, this is 5%. And we want to have an exponential, for example, equal to 5 raised to the power 2, and we are having 25. That's the exponential sign. And these are logical statements: greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, and not equal to. So for example, if we are saying, let's assign a number to these cells, 44. If we say equal to cell F13 is greater than cell J13, is the statement true or false? If it is true, it will come, the results will be true. If it is false, it will come false. So here, this cell is not greater than, therefore it's false. If we change the number to, let's say, 64, then it turns true. So this is how we use the logical statements: greater than, equal to, greater or equal to. There are some important functions that we also want to learn. For example, the sum. Let me clear this part. Control Shift down, Control Shift down, delete, Control Shift right. So let's say we have ages of students in a class. if we want the total age, we use the sum function. Let me insert a row. Yes, that's how we insert a row. If we want the total age of the students, we use the sum function, so equal to sum. So once you start typing, Excel will predict it for you. So we click on the tab key and we select the range, that the numbers, that's the range where we want to sum, and we press equal to. One thing that you've noticed is that in Excel, names or letters are left aligned and numbers are right aligned by default. We can realign them. For example, if we want all of them to be in the middle, so we go to the center test, so it will align everything in the middle. Let's bold in here too. Let me insert another column, and let me write here total so that it will. Next is the average. So here we have how many students? 1, 2, 3, 4. We want to find the average age. That is the median. That's the mean. So we use the average function. So, and we select the range. That's their ages. There's one way. Another way of doing the same thing is by selecting this cell which represents the age of the first student, and we keep selecting them one after the other. And each time we bring the comma, so till we get to the last one. So the average age in the class is 22. The next function is count. So the count function counts a number of a selected cell that contains numbers. So if I'm to select okay. The next is the count, but before we use it, let me enter any ABC. Let me enter ABC and center it, and let me center this one too. So these are the count function counts a selected range of cells that contains numbers. So here we want to count the number of cells that contains this range up to this end. We want to count the number of cells that contains numbers. We've noticed that it gave 6. That's 1. This is a number 2. This is a number 3, 4, 5, 6. And the count the count A counts a number of cells that are not empty. So if we use the count A, it will return, and we select the range, the same range as the one we used for the count. The count A will return 8 because there are 8 cells which are not empty. The next one is the VLOOKUP and the HLOOKUP, XLOOKUP. For that one, we will get to that later. So let's go to the proper function, trim function, test spread, length. There are a lot of input. The if function, and we have the nested ifs. We have the ifs, some ifs, but today we are not going to tackle all of them. There are thousands of functions. So let's come to the proper trim and We will get back to these ones later. The lookups later. Let's begin with the proper function. A proper function capitalizes the first letter of each word in a cell. So for example, if we write the proper function and select the name, it capitalizes the first letters. And so if let's suppose here this is a small letter, we've noticed that still it shows a capital letter. As we drag down, everything changes and it capitalizes the first letter and everything else becomes smaller letter. So here the Edward E is capital and the rest are small letters. So that's how the proper function works. The next is the trim. The trim function also removes spaces in a text. So to use the trim function, we enter trim and we click on the tab key. So here we can see that the spaces within the names are not the same. So we select the cell L12 and we press enter. And we double tap on the left corner to draw down. So it has removed all the spaces within the names and properly written them. So let's come to the lookups. The lookups are for search. If you are looking for something, if you are looking for a particular thing within a table, the VLOOKUP is used for data that is in vertical form. For example, a data like this, name, car makers and miles per gallon. And the HLOOKUP is used to search for data that is in horizontal form, something like this, the car makers and the mile per gallon. So this data is in horizontal form. However, the XLOOKUP can search for data within both vertical and horizontal. So let's say we are looking for a car maker, BMW. Let's say BMW. And let's begin with the VLOOKUP. VLOOKUP. So the lookup value is, we are looking for BMW. So we've written BMW here. So we have to click on it, look. And the table array is the table that we are interested in. So here we are interested in this table. So shift control right key and down key to select the table. The next is the column index. So we are looking for the mile per gallon, and here is the first column, second column, so it's on column 2. And the type of search that we are looking for is an exact one, so we select the exact match. This is how the VLOOKUP works. And let's use the HLOOKUP. The H equals HLOOKUP. So our lookup value, let's select the same BMW and the table. Because we are using it, so we need to go for this table. And we select the horizontal table. And here the row number. This is the first row and the second row. Since we are interested in miles per gallon, we select the second. That's the second row, and we end it. And the last one is the X lookup. The X lookup tool follows the same trend. However, it does not use the number of row or the number of column as in the case of VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP. X lookup. So the lookup value is the value that we've selected. The lookup array is where the value that we have selected can be found. So this is the array. The array is under car makers, so we select the car makers. And the last one is return value. What we want to return is the miles per gallon. So we select the miles per gallon, Control Shift down arrow key. And the next is if not found, we can skip it. In Excel, when something is in square bracket, it means it's an optional, and we move to the type of match, which is an option, which is an optional. We choose exact match, that's 0. So in all the cases, we are having the same figure for the mile per gallon for BMW, sorry. Okay, I forgot test spread. Okay, this is how we use the test spread function. It is used to spread test. It works same as test to column. So the test spread, for example, if we want the first name and the last name for this, we enter the test spread. And the spread, we want to spread these names into 2 different rows. So we select the name. And the next one is row delimiter. The row delimiter is the character, maybe a space or a character that is common throughout maybe all the names that you want to, based on it, you want to split the names. So here, in our case, we have comma. So we have to put it in quotations. Since it's not numbers, you have to put it in quotations. So there's a comma within the names and there's a space. So we leave a space and we close the quotation. All the other inputs are in square brackets, so we can ignore them and close the bracket. And you see the names has been spread into 2. Maybe first name and let's say surname. So we have this.